Hello, I'm Becky Saif. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to show you how you can make your very own Womp Bass. Not only that, for the first time ever on this channel, I am going to give you the preset of today's bass for free, for nothing. So if you want to grab your free preset, click the link below in the description. And this is the sound that we're going to create in the video today. So you've probably heard this bass in all different forms of electronic music. It's widely used, and in drum and bass it's most notably used in Neuro and Jump Up. And one track, if you are new to this sound, that is so prevalent and probably the most iconic Womp track is Azzido Da Bass Doom's Night Timo Maas remix. I'll link that in the description below so you can check it out. It is literally just whoop, 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 which is the sound of the Womp bass. So there's 3 key points to remember when you're designing this particular Womp bass in Serum, and that is frequency modulation, formant filter shifting, and also the shape of the LFO that you're going to use to modulate the different parameters. If you're going to grab the preset from the description, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It helps the algorithm and it boosts my content so it reaches more people like you. Thank you. All right, so let's recreate this Womp bass. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to duplicate the track and then I'm going to initialize the preset. So we have everything exactly the same as what it's set up here. And now we have Serum's default patch. Cool. All right, so the first thing you want to do is load a wave into oscillator A. So come to the top, go to analog and go down to basic shapes. And you now have an inverted sine wave. We're going to frequency modulate this sine wave, so turn on oscillator B, but we're not going to have the noise or the sound coming out of oscillator B, so we're going to turn the level down, and we're going to activate frequency modulation on oscillator A, so now it's FM from B, and now you're going to increase by 2 octaves and find your waveform. So I like to browse through the digital waveforms. These are really nice. The dist waveforms are really nice, but for today we're going to select prime. So let's see what this sounds like. So you can hear that wah sound coming through. I don't actually like the waveform as it is, so I'm going to go into the waveform editor. I'm going to change the size of the grid, and then I'm going to pick this shape and start drawing in just a bit more of a smoother kind of shape, following the pattern that's already there. Cool, something like that. Gonna come out of the wavetable editor. And you can hear we just have a bit more smoother harmonics in that frequency modulation. So now we're going to use an LFO to modulate this FM from B. So LFO 1, and you're going to create a kind of a slope shape. So something like that. Put it on trigger and then drag your LFO up to FM from B. Bring the control down and just attenuate. We're also going to add this to the level as well. Cool, so we're starting to get that Womp sound. I'm going to bring the random down on the oscillator B so we don't have a random shape every time. It's going to be the same, so we know exactly what sound we're getting. Activate the filter, and MG low 12 is really nice because we want to keep those upper harmonics in this sound. They are very characteristic of this sound, and if we have a slope that's too sharp, we'll lose those upper harmonics, which we really want. So add the LFO to the cutoff, make sure it's in unidirectional mode, and drag the crosshair down, and then bring up the drive so you're just pushing those harmonics a little bit. Cool. The next thing you want to do is just add some sub to your sound. Now you can do this separately from Serum, or you can do it directly inside. So activate the sub, direct out, and also I'm going to modulate using the LFO as well, so that it's moving with the bass line. The next thing we want to do is create a kind of knocking sound, so a transient to this sound. Now you can use something else to create the transient, or you could have your kick drum in that position as well. But if you use the LFO2, you can modulate the coarse pitch and create a kind of impact transient on your Womp Bass. So you're going to create a shape like this, put it on envelope mode so that it only triggers once, and then you're going to drag this up to the coarse pitch and make sure it's on unidirectional, and then just play around to taste. So you can hear that kind of punchy kick drum sound now. So just bring it down a little bit, drag it down on the coarse pitch. And this is what it sounds like without. So you can hear there that you're losing that transient sound. And when you're doing your frequency modulation as well, just note, like, you can play around with the octaves and get more of that kind of jump up sound. If you just bring it up and down, already you've got that kind of more intense, more kind of gravelly frequency modulation. Or if you want something a bit more minimal, bring it down and you have a darker minimal tone. Let's go to the effects. So the effects that you're going to add are distortion, compressor, and the filter. So the filter, bring it before the compressor, and this is where you're going to do your formant filter as well. So just turn off the bottom two. We're going to focus on the distortion first, and we're going to go to soft clip. Play around with your distortion types to taste. So you're kind of nicely driving those frequencies in the distortion. And then let's activate the filter, and we're going to come down to miscellaneous and formant 3. And we're going to modulate the filter using the LFO1. We're going to bring it up to the cutoff, put it on unidirectional, and then just drag the crosshair down. You can bring up the drive and the resonance. And then finally, you want to add your compressor. Now, as we have a transient on this particular bass, you just want to make sure that your attack is not all the way down at 0. It's around 10, 11 o'clock, so that you're not cutting off that initial transient. And then just increase the gain. Also, just to let you know, if you do like my presenting style and you are learning from this video, please give it a like and subscribe and comment. And if you want to check out more content, I do actually have a full Serum course. And I know courses obviously cost money, but if you want to learn what to do in Serum and how to make these particular sounds quickly and in order and get your knowledge up to speed, then check out my Serum course. It's a really good price, and the link to the course is below, and it's 5 stars as well, so I'm really proud about that. 5-star rated Serum sound design course. If you want to quickly learn how to make drums, basses, pads, and leads, and different parts of Serum, then have the crash course to Serum, which is in the link below. But yeah, thanks guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, loving it so far. You support me, I support you. That's how we make things work. And of course, grab your free preset. Grab your free preset. There's a preset. This is free. Now, like I said, you can play around with the octaves on oscillator B. You can play around with the different shapes in the LFO here. So you don't have to have this particular shape, but just remember that ramp is quite popular with this sound. So you can see how I bring it up and it starts to sound just a little bit different. Also, play around with the shapes in here. So if we go through the dist waveforms, so I really like that dull toy one. And then if you bring it up an octave, You've got your womp frequencies, womp bass, lovely. The last thing I want to show you is just the basic processing that you would put on a bass like this. So just make sure you mono your low frequencies. So you have a utility here with a bass mono. Also the audio effect rack, you've got your dry signal, which you could add some kind of saturation and erosion just to get that extra crunch. I call that my dry signal because I feel like time-based processing, which is on the wet channel, like Valhalla Room and delays and reverbs and things like that, that for me is my wet chain. I just make sure that's high passed so it's not creating any muddiness in the low end. And then finally, post EQ and some glue compression. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I loved making it. I loved making the patch for you guys to have for free. Check it out below. Support me on the channels. Jump in the Discord. Come and say hello. And I will see you for another video. Thanks. Bye.